7:45, welcome back. Rise and shine. Do your own shining because the sun is not doing it for you today. A little rainy out there, and there's some freezing rain in the area as well. Lots to talk about today. Of course, the provincial budget came down yesterday. The federal budget is tomorrow. Mayor Jim Watson joins us this morning. How are you?
Good morning. Great.
Your
Happy
reaction?
Juno week.
Yeah, really. I know you have a Juno event coming up today.
Today,
right?
man, just give a quick plug. It's at 3 o'clock at the National Arts Centre in the foyer. You don't need a ticket. All sorts of great Canadian acts that are going to be performing.
Are going to show up today?
They're going to show up today, and they're going to play, and it's an hour show.
Do you know if anyone in particular is coming?
Yes, but I can't tell you.
Is it a secret?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
That's at 3 o'clock?
That's right.
The NAC.
Good Canadian talent. 3 o'clock, and it's free.
You seem to be relatively pleased with the provincial budget.
Yeah, I'd set out 2 or 3 specific goals that I wanted to make sure that the province didn't let us down on, and I'm pleased that they have kept all of our infrastructure programs intact. That's light rail, the Highway 417 expansion, fixing the split, expansion out in the West End because of the congestion around Scotiabank Place, so that work is going to continue. And then the other issue, and I think you and I have talked about it, we signed a deal a couple of years ago to upload some of the social service costs. You know, property taxpayers shouldn't be paying for welfare and disability support. So that program has been ongoing, and they've been uploading those costs back to the province, taking it off the property tax bill. And there was some fear that that program either would be canceled or it would be spread out to a longer period of time, which would hurt us financially. So they haven't touched that, which is great news, because next year we expect a little over $5 million in savings as a result of that upload agreement.
Were we relatively unaffected by any cuts or, you know, other than wage freezes, which will affect our citizens, obviously?
Yeah, you know, the city of Ottawa itself, the city hall has been relatively kept whole in the whole process, because larger cities are not as dependent as smaller municipalities are on the province.
However, seeing that they didn't cut funding for any of the major projects, light rail, for example, is a bit of a relief. Are you more worried about the federal budget?
You know, not so much from the city's point of view, but from the residents' point of view.
Well, we're expecting major cuts to the federal civil service,
there were going to be cuts in the provincial public service, but we don't have as many provincial public servants, obviously, as Toronto would. Yeah. We have more federal public servants. So, we'll have to wait and see what Mr. Flaherty does, and I certainly talked with members of Parliament, and I had a meeting with the Prime Minister and said if there's anything we can do to help the transition with these employees, because there's no sense in just saying, all right, you're out of a job. Yeah. We need job retraining programs. We can't just allow these people to remain unemployed or go on social assistance. We have to help them, because it's in our self-interest. It hurts our economy if we have too many people unemployed. They're not spending money in stores and restaurants and so on. Sure,
that's why I asked you if it was more concerning that way federally than provincially, because I bet you this city is more affected by any federal cuts.
No question.
Than provincial.
Yeah, there's no question, because, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. We've benefited over the last couple of years. There's been tremendous growth in the public service. Yeah. And we have about 1/3 of all federal public servants in Canada are right here in the National Capital Region. So, if there are going to be any significant downsizing, we're going to feel it here. Yeah. But, it's not a criticism of the federal government, because at the end of the day, both the feds and the province have significant, record deficits. We're lucky. I don't know if your viewers realize this, Kurt, but by law, cities cannot run a deficit. No. So we have, by nature, we're more fiscally prudent.
Which makes it easy.
Well, it does. You know, we have to sort of make sure that we balance the books each year. And last year,
you actually do balance the books, whereas I believe the federal and provincial governments use the idea of balancing the books.
Well, we actually had a surplus last year of $35 million, so it's good fiscal management on the part of our staff and our council.
Just a quick explanation, if you would. We got less than a minute to go, but I wonder about this $2 million offer for a light rail transit station that was made by the owners of the Lord Elgin Hotel, and why did you say no?
Well, it's a generous offer, but if I came up to you and your house is valued at $300,000, I said, I'd like to give you $20,000 for your house, I think you'd tell me to say, well, I need a little bit more than that. Our station
That's not what I'd say.
But you'd be more polite. And it's not a criticism of the Gillen family. I appreciate their generosity. But when you have a $40 million price tag, $2 million is not going to pay for it, because the rest of the money is going to have to come from property taxpayers. And my pledge that I made to the constituents, keep the project on time and on budget. Every time someone has a new idea at the last minute, it's going to delay the project, the price is going to go up, and then the same people who are saying put another station here, another station there, will be squawking about cost overruns. And the second thing is, when you look at the traffic patterns, more people want to come to the Byward Market and the Rideau Centre and Lower Town and Sandy Hill than to the National Arts Centre. It's just a simple question of more people want to go to that location.
I don't understand the big deal and how, it's not difficult to get over to the other side of the canal. It really isn't. Listen, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Kurt.
I know you got some other interviews to do, and I hope you enjoy your first Juno event, the real kickoff to Juno Week.
3 o'clock, NAC.
Anybody's welcome to go.
Anyone, and it's
Secrets will be unveiled. City secrets. Good to see you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break, but coming up, a couple of members of Canada's national women's hockey team are here, and they'll be playing in the region in the very near future. 7:51, we'll be right back.